Hi guys.
Hey guys. Good morning. We wanted to quickly just kind of do a quick video of our review of the new Genie Plus system at Disneyland and what it is, and if you're not familiar with it, what it is and how much it costs, and maybe a few tips and tricks that we learned yesterday that might be helpful to some of you guys if you're going to Disneyland. I'm pretty sure it's similar Disneyland to Disney or Walt Disney World, except for at Walt Disney World, I believe it's $15 a day, and at Disneyland it is $20 a day. Now, I believe at Disneyland it does include the pictures, so you get all the ride pictures. It's kind of like a picture pass for the day as well, kind of like the Max Pass was. So at Disneyland, where we did it yesterday, it is $20 a day per person. So it's, for us it was $40 to do it. And the parks are packed right now. It's Christmas time, the wait times are high, and we thought we would give it a try. We planned on getting there really early in the morning and tried to go, all day, and we wanted to really focus on being able to do the rides. So we got there early, and overall, I think it was worth it. Don't you think?
Yeah.
I mean, it's obviously an extra cost in addition to already what we pay for our passes, which is something that would make it that I wouldn't do it every time we go. But we definitely thought it made our day really fun. We were able to kind of run around and get on rides. I think the longest lightning lane pass, lanes,
was Indiana
Jones and Guardians of the Galaxy. Right. Now, both of those we did later in the evening. But those, I'd say we waited about maybe 15 minutes for the ride. But mind you, Guardians was like
120.
Yes, it was like a 120-minute wait. And then Indiana Jones was like a 90 or 70-minute wait. So, waiting 15 minutes for those rides wasn't too bad with paying for the lightning lane. So those were the two that we waited the longest for. A couple of the things that we do and don't like of it is the thing that we don't like is that you can only use it for each ride once. So you can't pay for the Genie Plus and then go ride Indiana Jones 3 times using the lightning lane. You're only allowed to do each ride one time per day with the pass. So once you've gone to Space Mountain and used your lightning lane for Space Mountain, you can't use it again for Space Mountain. Now, I guess the positive side to that was that by the end of the night, you were still able to make a fast pass for the rides you hadn't used. So Indiana Jones or any of the big rides, they still had fast passes available. So, and that is a positive in a way, because with the Max Pass, it kind of was towards, after 3 or 4 o'clock on a very, very busy days, they ran out of fast passes for the big rides because people were riding them multiple times and they kind of ran out. So in that sense, I guess it is kind of cool that they, you only get to use it one for each ride, and it's kind of like what we intended to do yesterday. You want to ride all the rides that it includes in the lightning lane selection. So not all the rides have it. It's kind of like the same rides that they had for Max Pass, but it's all most of the big rides. It's a Small World, Indiana Jones, Space Mountain, Haunted Mansion, Splash Mountain. There's something I'm missing. Maybe not. So that may be it for Disneyland. And over at California Adventure, I think it's less selections. It's like Monsters Inc. ride, Guardians of the Galaxy, Incredicoaster, Toy Story, and Soaring, I think, are the ones that you can use it for over there. Now, they have a separate thing that are 3 rides that are a la carte that you buy to pay per ride. So, if you want to ride Rise of the Resistance in the lightning lane, it was I think it's $20 a person, which is ridiculous. I will not do that. But they do have, you can get an individual pass to ride Rise of the Resistance for $20 a person for the day, and that gives you the lightning lane to Rise of the Resistance. Web Slingers has the same thing, and so does Cars over at DCA. So those rides are not included in the regular Genie Plus. Those are a separate a la carte option that you can add if you want to. But with the $20 a day per person, it's kind of confusing. That's why we thought we'd just do a quick video. For the $20 a day, it includes most of the bigger rides, but it doesn't include like rides like Pinocchio or Dumbo or any of those rides. So it's not by all means like every single ride at the park,
Right.
but it's most of the big rides. So we managed to we were there from 7 a.m., 8 a.m., by the time we parked and stuff. We were there from park opening till about 10 o'clock, and we did 18 total rides, which is pretty good for the day. I mean, we did all of the big rides. The only two we didn't use the Genie Plus for at Disneyland was for Haunted Mansion and Autotopia. That was the other one that you can do at Disneyland. So Haunted Mansion and Autotopia, we did not use the Lightning Lane for. They still had fast passes for it, but we were really tired, so we just opted to not do those. And over at California Adventure, we didn't use it for Monsters, Inc. or Soaring. So those were the 4 rides total that we did not use our Lightning Lane pass for yesterday. But all the other rides we did, and especially right now at the holidays, I feel like there is the wait times for the rides are crazy. So we thought it was really worth it. What else did we have? Oh, one tip that we did find through a cast member that we thought was super helpful. So, for example, we had a Lightning Lane pass for Indiana Jones twice, and both times that we had a fast pass saved for that ride, it broke down. So when that ride breaks down and you have a fast pass, it gives you this what was it called?
Like freebie.
Unique experience fast pass. And that fast pass can be used on any of the rides, regardless of if you already rode it or not. It gives you a fast pass for any ride in either of the parks that are on the original Genie Plus thing. So you can't use it for Rise of the Resistance or the ones that you have to buy a la carte, but you can use it for any ride in the parks. So for example, we saved those 2 that broke down from Indiana Jones, and we went over to Disney's California Adventure, and we used those for Guardians, Toy Story, and Incredicoaster, because they ended up giving us another one. We went to guest services, it wasn't switching over, and then it did switch over when we were there, but then by the time we got over to DCA, there had been a 3rd one added. So we weren't sure if they just added the 3rd one because they knew we were kind of having problems with it, but that was pretty cool because we were still then later in the evening able to make a fast pass for Indiana Jones in the nighttime, and those 3 extras that we got you could use on anything. So we could what was it, I think we ended up getting 4. I think we ended up getting a total of 4 because we had used our Lightning Lane pass for Thunder Mountain, and then we used one of the freebies that we got to go ride Thunder Mountain again at nighttime. So something happens where I guess if you have one booked and then something happens with it, they just give you one of those unique experiences. Now, from my experience, since we've only done it one time, I don't know how often that happens. I don't want you guys to think, oh, well, we'll get that. And then I don't know. I don't know how often that happens. I know that Indiana Jones breaks down a lot.
A lot.
So if you make a fast pass for that, chances of that breaking down and you getting one of those for that particular ride is probably pretty good. But I think that made our day much, much better because we did end up getting 4 of those. So we ended up using the 3. We went over to DCA, and getting the fast passes for those 3 Incredicoaster, Toy Story, and Guardians were much later in the evening, and we were able to go over and just use those right when we got there. And then that 4th one that we got, we were kind of surprised that was on there once we came back over to Disneyland, and we did go ride Thunder Mountain with that again. So maybe that kind of worked out extra well for us because that's kind of how the cookie crumbled. But all in all, we thought that was really cool that they did that. And one thing that the cast member told us is if you have some of those unique experiences, to not go to one of the rides that you have a fast pass for. So for example, say you have that unique experience fast pass, and then you have one for Haunted Mansion at 10 o'clock in the morning. He said, do not show up to Haunted Mansion at 9:55 or whatever. Say there was from 10 to 11 you had your fast pass. So he said, don't show up at 9:55 to use your Haunted Mansion one, and don't show up at 11:05 to use your Haunted Mansion one, because the system will automatically take the freebie unique experience one they give you, and not your Haunted Mansion one. So The whole deal with the 5 minutes is with the fast passes, if you've never done them before, is you can use them 5 minutes before the actual time it says and 5 minutes after the time that they give you. But he recommended that if we have any of those unique experiences, which are kind of like the freebies that we got, to show up right when the fast pass starts or sometime in between the hour that it gives you to come back, to not use that 5 minutes before or use that 5 minutes after, because a lot of the times it'll take the freebie that it's giving you. So all in all, we thought it was really cool. We're going to go again on the 28th with my sister and my niece, and I think we're going to do it again, just because right now the parks are packed, and it made it so that you could run around and get on the rides, and it made it kind of exciting to not know you had to wait in like a 75-minute wait line. And we thought it was really cool that we kind of we're able to use one all day long, with the fact that you're not being able to do multiple times on Space Mountain or multiple times on Thunder Mountain. And we thought it'll make for a good day.
So,
when we go back.
1 out of 10, what would you give the experience?
You know what, I thought about it more this morning, and I think I would give it an 8.5, like a solid 8.5 out of 10. And the only reason being is that it costs money to do it, which I think is kind of like not fair when you have a pass, and they used to be free and stuff, but I do think it's probably a better service than it used to be in a way. So the cost and then the fact that you can only do one ride per thing is kind of why I wouldn't give it 10 out of 10, but I would definitely do it again. So yeah. If you guys are going and you're making a trip there, or you want to just go during the holidays and ride a lot of rides, I recommend trying it out. So it's really simple. You do it on the app, you log in, you pay for it, and then as soon as you do it, you can, you can start making rides. You can only make one at a time, and if you have one at 3 p.m. and then, you can either do it every 2 hours or every time you use it. So if you say you make a fast pass at 12, but your fast pass is until 3:25, again at 2 p.m. you can make another one. So it's kind of very confusing, but it's pretty easy to use, and you just kind of use it as you go throughout the day. You use your fast pass, you can make another one, but if the fast pass is far enough out in the day that the 2-hour window comes first, then you're able to make another one in that 2-hour window. You just hit the little tip board thing of it, and it comes up with what rides you can make a fast pass for. So yeah, we liked it. We're excited to do it again on the 28th. We tried to spend a little bit less money on food to kind of balance out the cost of doing it. And I think that when it's crowded, or if we're trying to get a lot of rides done, we'll probably do it again in the future. So I would give it a try. I recommend it. And hopefully this helps some of you guys. If you have any more questions about it, you can reach out to me on Instagram, and I'm more than happy to answer any questions about it. Instagram is Erica's Enchanted Disney also. And I hope this helps somebody. So we'll talk to you soon.
Bye.
Bye.